today we've come over to Richmond University to survey the outside of a building. Reason being is Dan, who's our dam surveyor, and looked at this previously and told the client that one of the biggest issues are defects that are happening from the exterior, and I've been invited down today to look at the outside of the building. Me and Dan are here to just discuss these issues and to try and correlate the damp that we've seen inside with an exterior defect that's quite notable. It's a red brick, and they're more susceptible to SPAB damage, and they hold and retain moisture a lot more. Because it's softer, it breaks a lot easier, and if the wrong mortar is used when pointing, that has a detrimental effect on the actual face of the brick. I suspect these correlate with the damp that you're seeing on the inside, Dan.
Yeah, I think the primary cause to excessive amount of water cascading down the building is largely to do with the rain goods, but also a lot of the plant matter that's in and around the building that's absorbing a lot of the moisture and allowing that to fall onto the building. And
I suppose the good thing with Environ, we've got NADC drainage engineers, so what they'll do, they'll come out after us and they'll look at the overground drainage systems, all the rain goods and hoppers and so forth, and of course they will look at the underground because they're usually very closely linked. And so Dan, just talk me through, why do you think those bricks there are green? What's happening?
So the reason for the moss growth sitting on the actual brickwork, a large part to do with this area of the building is, as you can see around us, the plant matter that's directly touching onto the building, that's taking in all of the rainwater, penetrating down onto this area of the building, allowing it to sit and hold onto that brickwork. And as a result of that, the mortar itself is perished and it's fallen out of place, and that allows the water to actually be pulled through the actual capillaries of the brickwork.
Yeah, and I suppose the other thing is just the shade. I suppose the shade.
Yeah, that plays a massive part as well. Yeah, we've obviously got not great deal of shade to the light and sunlight, allowing that moisture to dry out from the actual brickwork. So as a result, the moisture is just saturating on the face of the brick, and so it's deteriorating.
And this wall, look at the state of that wall.
Yeah,
it's pretty bad, man. All the mortar's gone. Come around to this section as well. You've got all the hygroscopic sorts that are coming up from the ground, and that's coming through the actual brickwork as well. So has there been a failure in a DPC? Are the floor levels too high? Is there an issue with the drain, since the drain is so close to the actual building? Again, something that the drainage engineers and surveyors
100%.
And of course these specials that they've used as sills, they're beautiful, but you can see they're being affected by cascading rainwater.
Yeah, once that mortar comes away.
And as we come around here, talk to me about that, Dan. Tell me what
so yeah, you can see this is what's been applied as a non-permeable paint. So what that's actually causing is in moisture to become trapped behind, and it's not allowing it to dry out as it should naturally, and it's resulting in the moisture actually being pulled through the brickwork and the capillaries. Ideally that needs to be exposed. We see such a common thing that we see on buildings throughout London.
Properties, but they're not allowed.
Aesthetically it looks good, but for the building and preserving its condition, it's not great.
The company, we've got a Thermatech team that can come out and can take that paint off the building, just to allow those bricks to breathe.
Yeah.
And again, that's that area that we saw inside. Would you jump on there, Dan? Okay,
yeah.
We're going to go old school.
Good job, I'm like. One issue here, where it's directly away from this area, but these pipes completely come away from this area. That's going to allow all the rainwater from the roof to come into this area. So you can see all the mortar is just perished. There's actually vegetation growing out of the actual brickwork. We've also got a similar situation going on here where the vegetation is growing out of the building. Up there. It's all blown, you can see the cracks in it as well. Well, I'll show you, but if you're in this corner, there's a large part of that render that's gone. So I'm wondering, is water just coming down there and becoming trapped behind the actual render and then coming through? Yeah.
And then the question you've got to ask yourself is, why was it rendered? Why is that the only part of the building?
Yeah. This fillet here is blown. Ideally, they want to put lead flash in here.
See the timbers just literally gone on that window. And look at the chimney stacks as well. You see much
Yeah, the stack itself, all the mortars come away.
I'll tell you what, it'd be good to get the drone on there to see the flunched area.
Yeah.
Find out why that's happening.
Yeah, that'll give us that.
Yeah, let's get the drone
access to them areas. That
So after coming back to the office, what we've decided to do now is we've looked at the damp survey that was carried out by my colleague, and with the restoration survey, we then try and link them together. So by looking at a mapping of the defects that we saw in the underground basement area and on the ground floor where we could see clear dampness, of course we look at the outside area on the restoration survey and we try and link each one of the defects that we've seen to the internal parts where damp exists. Once we commit to doing this work, we will obviously carry out the job, making sure that the building is restored to its original state, and then once we've done that, we'll allow a drying period, usually 6, maybe 8 weeks. In old historic buildings, we try not to do things too fast, we try and let things dry naturally, and only then do we go back, we commit another damp survey and to find out if some of those areas have naturally dried, and if they have, fantastic news, there's no damp treatment needed, and if they are still wet, then we look at why that might be, and we look at other areas, and that might be the ground, it might be the drainage, but of course there are issues that we look throughout the project, and this is why we take this holistic approach.